A good Erev Shabbos, a good Erev Rosh Chodesh. As we learn the Mishna Yomis for this Erev Shabbos Parshas Korach. Remember, there is for the Shabbos table on Korach already available on Torah Anytime on YouTube, and it's found also on Kol Lashon, and also the main shir on Korach is very, very fundamental. If you are following me on TorahAnytime.com, you should follow me and like me, and the same thing is true for YouTube. You should subscribe. We are sponsored Lila Nishmas Harab Moshe ben Harab David L'Refuah Shalema for Eliyahu Moshe Mechayisar for the Schus Abraham Yom Benish ben Malki Yudis and family. We are dedicated by the Fisher family. Lila Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shlomo ben Avram Alevi Perel Bas Ruvain. We learn also sponsored by Yoel Klugman and family for their Panos and Gesundheit and Nachas, and Refuah Shalema for Avigdor Aryeh ben Rivka and Meir ben Chayesar. They should have Refuah Shalema b'Seich Shar Chayla Yisrael. So the Mishnah tells us as follows: Im loibasi mikan. This is the 7th parak Mishnah Tes. Im loibasi mikan ad shnayim eser chodesh. If I don't come back from here, if I don't come back from now within a year, then, and here's the key, then kisvu usnu get lishti, write and deliver a get to my wife. Kasvu get b'seich shnei eser chodesh, if they wrote it within the year, and v'nasnu la'achar shnei eser chodesh, and they gave it at the end of the year, ain't a get. It's not a get because they disobeyed the instructions. He said first to write it after the year. Now, kisvu tenu get li'ishti, write and deliver a get to my wife, im loibasi mekan v'ad shnei eser chodesh, if I don't come back after a year. Again, the Tana Kama holds that kasvu b'seich shnei eser chodesh, if they wrote the get during the year, v'nasnu la'achar shnei eser chodesh, again the Tana Kama holds it's not a get, because he who holds that the imloi basi mikan v'ad shnei eser chodesh is going back on both the kisvu utenu, and therefore, since it was written during the year, again it's not a good get. Rabbi Yosi says when the Tanai comes afterwards, it's going back only on the last thing. So the Imloi Basi Mekan Vat Shnei Eser Chodesh then is only going back on the Tnu, and therefore it's all right that the get was written before the year, as long as it was delivered after the year. So Rabbi Yosi Aimer, because a get, it is a get. Kasvu La'achar Shnei Eser Chodesh, everybody agrees that if it's written after 12 months, v'nasnu la'achar shnei eser chodesh, and delivered after 12 months, v'meis, and then he died. So the question is, was it delivered before he died, or was it delivered after he died? Ima get kadam lamisa, if the get was delivered after the year before he died, so then she's divorced. How is a get? Isa kadma get. But if it was delivered after he died, and of course ain't get achamisa, then ain't a get. But let's say the shliach delivered it. We find out he died, and we don't know if it was delivered before he died or after he died. Vim ein yedua, we don't know the precise time of death. So therefore, we don't know if the shliach gave it before he died, and then the get would be a get, or after he died, and then it wouldn't be a get. Now, of course, the difference is regarding yibum, because if she wasn't divorced, so then she would fall liyavim if there were no children, and she would have to submit to either yibum or chalitza. If she was divorced first, then there's no yibum, and then of course she can't marry her brother-in-law because that's an eishes achshav loibim kai mitzvah, which would be an isser. So Zui Sha'amru, this is a situation where we say Migareshes ve'ena Migareshes. She's divorced and not divorced, meaning it's a suffix, and therefore she can't do Yibam because maybe she was divorced, maybe it was a good get. On the other hand, she can't go free because maybe it wasn't a good get and she has a chiyuv. So there the psak would be chaletzes eina misyabemes. This chalitza and not yibam. Hazarik get leishtay, as we start the 8th parak of Gittin. Hazarik get leishtay, if the husband throws a get to his wife, Vihi b'seich beisa, and she's in her house, oy b'seich chatzera, or in her courtyard, so therefore her house or her chatzer is like her yad. Harizum Geresha, she's divorced. Zarkula b'seich beisa, however, if he throws it to her in his house, oy b'seich chatzera, or in his courtyard, so it never left his rishus into her rishus. Now, afilu huima b'mita, even if he throws it to her in her bed. But since the bed belongs to the husband, therefore, Eina Megareshes, she's not divorced. However, if he throws it l'soich cheka, now normally this means in her lap, but it means, explains the Taisus Yom Tov and the Teres Yisrael, if he throws it to her and it falls on her skirts, and even though the skirts are dragging on the ground in the husband's property, or on her in her knitting basket, and this is true even if the knitting basket is on the ground. Harizuma Gereshes, she's divorced, because we say that the husband gives her over the place of her skirts or the place of her knitting basket, and therefore it's considered like it went into her rishus, and therefore she is divorced. We want to thank you very much for joining us. Remind you that Daf Yomi, 2 delicious blat about tzedakah, Matzah Shabbos at 10:45. You go to zoomdaf.com and put in passcode. There's a passcode now. It's 914401, and we'd love to have you join us. During the week, it's 5 to 9. Thank you, and have a good Shabbos.